story I ever heard of you, Silas, and to be honest, it fucking scared me.
What did I do?
Okay, somebody was like, dude, this new kid Silas, are we recording?
Yeah.
Alright, they're like, this new kid Silas opened the fridge and was like, I wonder whose milk this is. Like, I don't care. And then, like, dunked cookies in it and used somebody else's milk. And, like, I was kind of scared of you for a while.
I don't think I did that.
That is scary.
It sounds like you, to be honest. Like, now I understand your troll mentality that you have.
I don't care.
I kind of trust this person. Like,
I did that with
I was like, that's antisocial as fuck and he's scary. But you warmed up to me.
I for sure did that with ketchup in the fridge once. It was like, it's a condiment. It's like no one's gonna get mad about using a condiment that isn't even no one's name's on it. Guys, welcome to the Funny Podcast.
Welcome to Salad Bar. Welcome to Salad episode 12. Holy crap! 12 episodes.
That's
Isn't
like
that insane?
that's like okay. For this episode, we're gonna make episode 6 and then just play it twice.
It's an honor.
I don't think I remember what episode 6 was.
That was the Christmas special. I
Was
remember because I looked at them yesterday.
Oh.
I think it was. I'm like 90% sure. Anyway, I'm Damien. I'm joined with
Your boy Parm.
and also
Silas here. Welcome.
there we
These
go.
these were all the people that we could afford this week because everybody else has work and like girlfriends and all that.
Stupid stuff like that.
Thanks for calling me out for having nothing in life, Silas.
Yeah, we needed to get a few people. Just got nothing going on, no life, that kind of stuff.
We need to get the Marvel B team for this one.
Yeah.
We're really gonna set up these characters for the next movies. I think next week we're gonna have Kamala Khan.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We have a few stuff to talk about. Damien, let's talk about your thing. You said you had stuff, and I'm interested.
So I got a new phone recently. I had been using the same phone since like early high school. So it was like a piece of shit phone. Toward like the end of its lifespan, it just could not do basic functions. I couldn't download any apps past my utility apps that I need for stuff like YouTube and Facebook and shit. So it had no space. I tried as I might to delete old photos and stuff. Didn't work. YouTube just stopped working because it was you need to update YouTube, and so I go to the App Store. The App Store doesn't work anymore even.
Is it possible for you to go in the browser and look up YouTube videos? That's what I did when I first got my new phone.
Well, yeah, but it would run like shit.
That's true.
So I got a new phone for my birthday. It was pretty sweet. So I transferred my old number over. So it's the same number that I had, but for some reason I'm getting all sorts of fucking spam calls, from the most typical shit Indian dudes being like, have you heard that that car insurance prices have risen, shit like that. And this is what I used to do, but I revived this method. If you get spam calls, the easiest way to get them to stop calling you, just respond in a different language, or just make up a gibberish language, and they will stop calling you. They'll be like, hello, is this and it's some name that's not mine, and I'm like, was? Warum hast du gesagt, warum hast du ruf mich, ich kann nicht hören so? And they're like, sir, we need to talk, and I just say, okay, nein, no, du hast du sagt, warum du, shit just speaking in a different language, and then they hang
Was
up.
that even words? I don't think those were actually. I think you were just.
No, they were words. I didn't use the German sentence structure, but that was German.
Well, I know that was German. I just don't think you were saying anything substantial. You were saying move.
I was saying why did you call me?
Oh.
Who is this? That kind of stuff. And then they're the ones who hang up. So just answer. I'm thinking next time just answer in bullshit Mandarin, being like, "我现在不排定的是有," that kind of thing.
David, you're too good at fucking mimicking language structures from memory. It's scary.
I just memorized the John Cena video where he's talking about ice cream.
And he celebrates the CCP finally putting Muslims in internment camps.
Uh-huh.
I love that guy.
Gotta love John Cena, him shilling for China. It's beautiful.
And him as Mao in that photo that you put in the library.
Yeah. There's a photo of him, I'll throw it up right here, where he's photoshopped to be on Mao, and I printed that out and I put in a nice picture frame and put it in the library when I was in high school. It was pretty funny. It was up there for quite a while.
How do you deal with spam callers, Parm?
Yeah.
You look like the type of guy who would like like you would just read out their address and they'd hang up.
So when I was younger, I used to have a trust fund, and then that ran out dry. But annuity people would just constantly call me and ask me to take out my funds like I had any. So I led them to believe I had like a lot of funds. And I strung this dude on for like a month and a half of like, yeah, and then like really listening, asking him personal questions. You know, he's telling me about his wife and stuff back at home in Florida. And like kind of got to know him. And like we talked, and I would delay him, and I'd be like, oh my God, it's my boss. Or I'd be like, son, and I'd be like, it's my dad, I gotta go. And then like hang up on him. But like we got pretty close, and then I ghosted them, and I don't know. They get a huge cut, so it's like they're really into getting you. But there was nothing.
I don't get the mentality of like scam callers. It's like it's been said time and time again, but they are like the worst scum.
They're just trying to find like old people.
I know, and they will always fall for it.
I don't understand why they're calling me. I have the same number as like my old phone, and I get like probably at least 5 calls a day of people being like, "Do you know that you have car and home insurance, right?" And I'm like, "Boss." It's good. It's funny.
Let's see, something tangentially related. I was going to talk about this. So instead of spam callers, have you ever gotten the wrong numbers?
Wrong numbers don't usually call, they text.
Well, yeah, but have you gotten like wrong number texts?
Yeah,
to you?
Yeah.
I have a bunch.
I got 2 of them that stand out. I got like the first day I got my phone. This was November 29th of last year. Like, this would be about 20 minutes after I got this new phone. Had this all hooked up. Immediately, I get a new a text from someone, and it's just a picture of this like a chair from a nursing home, with like a seat. It's like obviously like a toilet seat.
And that means I can throw it up.
I won't. I'm not gonna let you see the second or throw up the second photo because they just like send a photo of like their grandma
in the seat.
Yeah,
It's really funny.
and
Call him right now.
And this was
We need a guest.
This was a month after. They sent the picture of them in the seat a month after. And then earlier this year, January 13th, Casey, Stacy Fish, Happy Fish, Stacy.
They just sent that string of words.
Yeah.
Did you say anything to them in between these?
No, I've never.
Please call him.
Why
now.
don't you mess with them?
Because this is like they're showing off like they're like, I don't know, maybe that's like their mom or like their grandma or something.
Yeah.
And I don't want them.
I always
Support
respond.
them.
One of the first ones I got was pretty good. There was just this person like asking for notes, like, "Oh, did you get the notes from class last week?" And I sent them the Slender Man, like 8 pages. I was like, "Yeah, right here." You got to message him back.
I'm not. I pick my targets because there's some I do message back. That's what I was gonna lead into. This was on. I don't have the messages anymore, so I can't throw them up. But like, I got like this random message from like some Chinese woman who owned it, like who just inherited like a huge company in like California, and she was just like texting me randomly, and she was just like nonchalant. Like when she realized it was like the wrong number, she was like nonchalantly like. She was like nonchalantly saying like, you should like visit me in like Orange County or something like that. It's like
Wait, after you told her that you were the wrong person?
Yeah, I just started chatting her out because I just wanted to see, and she was like flirting with me, and
That's
it was
really good.
and I think she asked me for my age at one point. I was like, oh yeah, I'm 19, and then she never texted again. I just wanted to see where it was going.
One of the other ones I can remember off the top of my head. This person like texted me and they're like, "Thank you, Dr. Smith," or something like that. "Sarah's really been in like a better place ever since like the sessions or something like that. Like she's got a job, she's doing good." And I responded with something like, "I'm not Dr. Smith, but tell her congrats. That sounds amazing."
You should have said like watch out for the autism. I may have accidentally injected it in her.
Yeah, be like, I don't. Yeah.
So I injected this in like experimental like venom into her, and I just found out that it turns them into crabs and then just ghost them.
I'm fucking fried, dude.
I wanted to talk about how horrible the internet is now. Do you guys have any relations to that kind of subjects.
Why don't you start? Why don't you take it away?
So, like, I think before, like, you know how, like, internet algorithms work. Whenever you go on there, it will just show you stuff you want to see, so it keeps you on there.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was fine for a while. I like that. It was just, like, cool. I get to see cool art, maybe some, like, cool stuff every once in a while. And now, like, every single day, I see something that just, like, I at least see 3 things a day that upset me, like, to my core. Like, let's see. On Instagram, you will always see a death video. If you're on Instagram Reels, it's just unavoidable. You'll see someone die. You'll see someone turn into red mist, like a cloud.
Since we talked about it the last time, I have luckily not seen any. I've seen like memes about them, like people joking about it, but I have not seen any directly.
I see that every single time I ever want to, like, go on there. I also have a new, like, genre video that I found that I want to introduce to you guys. You know how we have, like, the funniest videos, we have scary videos, we have death videos.
I mean, you do.
I do. Well, so does everybody else now. If your phone's listening, you're gonna have them next.
Yeah.
That's just how it works. But I found videos that, like, every single time I watch them, I feel insane. Like, it's not even funny. It's not even scary. It's just like brain rot.
Are you just talking about that, like the coffee spelled backwards edits?
No, Damien, those are also fucking stupid. You just said.
I can't even describe it. It's like it's just garbage edits. There's like no rhyme or reason to them. They're just like putting like 18 videos back to back.
All right, so here's a good example of one that I found just today. Here, I'm gonna.
Oh, I have seen these. Have you seen the one? Have you seen the one where it's like Tony Soprano and he's talking about like yachts or something?
Yeah.
And it's like the exact same thing as this.
Well, it's just videos that, like, they're not fun. It's like, it reminds me of, like, a NAS, like, thing that he would do,
Yeah.
but, like, in a weird, unironic, and more insane way. There's other ones I keep finding too.
Yeah.
What's another one?
I've seen that specific one as well.
Where's the other one that I had? I think it's this one? No, it's this one. I just have one where the guy does this for 10 minutes.
Tries to catch a mouse.
He catches a frog, and he just does that. He just puts the frog on the floor and makes it backflip while, like, snickering. And it's that for 10 minutes.
I like it.
That video's 10 minutes long?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Frog looked super happy.
Send me both of those.
I keep finding these videos that are, like, I found another one where it's just, like, a man walking to a bunch of people dressed up as, like, just, like, female Spider-Man and just, like, taking their socks and just, like, sniffing them. I just keep finding the weirdest videos and I'm losing my fucking mind every time I go on Instagram.
It's like like 21st century humor. It's like an advanced version of that.
Well, it's like, okay,
it's interesting.
do you know what 21st century humor is, Parm?
No.
Alright.
You know what Vine is?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so they're just basically taking a bunch of like Vine sound effects and just like placing them like over stuff. It's like, bruh, damn, Daniel got him. You know, like.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
They will literally get every sound effect you've ever heard in meme culture and put them back to back with like the weirdest visual, like a horse spinning, or like a go-kart just spinning in circles. It's just insanity.
Just triggering a bunch of old memories. All right, I like it.
Yeah. So I feel like this wave of brain rot is like, just like a newer version of 21st century humor, which just makes even less sense now.
But it's okay. It's worse than that because like like at some point I kind of got used to like the random sounds and noises.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like full cohesive videos, no edits of them just doing the most insane thing I've ever seen, and it feels like I'm having like a schizophrenic moment where I'm just like I'm losing my mind.
Why do you induce this to yourself, Silas?
I just want to look for funny
There's
videos.
so many other things you can do.
I just want to look at funny videos of like Family Guy like edited with SpongeBob music over it.
I saw those.
That's on Instagram, but every single other place I go to on the internet, I will always find like I feel like this is like a self-destructive thing. I don't think this is stuff people should do. But sometimes I will see like a sad story, like of how like somebody literally has to work every single moment of their life just so they can like make rent. And then I'll go to the comments and they're just like, you can already guess what like the most infuriating thing you've ever seen, and it's just that copy and pasted over and over again. And then you'll also see it about art too. That's the ones that get me the most, where it's just like, we'll segue into that later. I was gonna talk about Pal World, but you'll just see a bunch of like weird AI like crypto stuff that just like obviously it's wrong, whatever they're saying. And it's getting to the point where I'm thinking like, you know, Caden, Ashley, Aiden for the most part, they've all kind of left like all the main platforms mostly.
Yeah.
And I'm this close to finally just like deleting all those apps, because it's just
yeah.
You're just alone.
Half the fun was sending Caden bullshit all day. Now you're the only one left that I like send bullshit to.
I know. Well, I found a new friend that I can send bullshit to now, so it makes me slightly more happy.
What's their fucking name?
I don't know if I should just. I don't know if I could just say it out loud.
It? Where do they live?
Damien, just bleep out the name. It's.
Ah!
All of your friends have the strangest of names.
Speaking of bleeping things out, some podcasts are real. I edit. Some podcasts are really good at it. I add the music. I put all of us standing around the bar, and there's some that are like. For instance, Farm, the last one you were on, the amount of like edits I had to do, because every time.
Sorry.
No, it was already.
I thought about that later.
Because it's one thing to be like, oh yeah, name, and then one right there. But when it's like 5 people who say the name over and over again, like it would be like Daniel. Oh yeah, Daniel. I know Daniel. Yeah, Daniel's cool. It's like beep 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 beep. It's,
all right.
Like for instance, like the episode 11, I edited. I think I made like one cut, added the intro, outro. It took me like an hour to finish it. Like so easy. And then there's other ones that take me so long, because like I use the 21st century humors. It'll be like, bro, damn Daniel, got him, Mario, like Mario sound effects, Barbara noises.
I like it.
That was just one quick.
I'm sorry.
I appreciate the dedication.
It sounds funnier that way. So it worked out.
Are we not allowed to use the Lorenzo clip anymore, or did you just get bored of it?
I got bored of it.
That's fair.
We used it a couple of times early
We
on.
need to get our own little sound effects to play. We need to make our own like censor bars, because you can't use censor bars. You can't use the TMZ beat, because YouTube will find it and then just destroy your video.
They'll be like, oh, they censored something. That must mean they're talking about something naughty. Even though they censored it, we gotta take the sound.
You can't curse in the first 5 minutes of a video now. YouTube sucks.
Well, we could teach them how to make napalm.
No, we can't do that either.
Yeah, dude.
I know.
Just step by step.
I know it's making the rounds on TikTok that they're accidentally teaching kids to make napalm instead of slime.
That's right.
We could outread the Anarchist Cookbook.
That's exactly like the fucking King of the Hill thing, where it's like, Becky, you taught all these people to make the recipe for mustard gas?
King of the Hill is great, dude. Mm-hmm. Do you relate to the King of the Hill, Parm? Do you see yourself in Hank Hill?
No. Kind of tired with a lot of stuff like him, but definitely not Hank.
My roommates were joking the other day about a Hank. I almost said a Hank Hill episode, about a King of the Hill episode where instead of teaching Bobby how to fight, he teaches him to play Fortnite. He's like, "Son, I'm gonna teach you to crank 90s." Like that.
And then Bobby uses aim assist so he can sit down and play Clash of Clans on his phone instead. It's like the episode where he gets kicked in the balls by Bobby. He has the same visceral reaction, and he's chair ridden. And then Peggy does a Fortnite dub on him. That's our new cool episode. We wrote the Family Guy episode last time. Now we wrote a King of the Hill episode.
It was so stupid. Sit back on it was dumb.
Was it funny?
Yeah, it was funny.
We didn't do a single. Do you remember the time joke?
We didn't do any cutaways either. We need to do better next time.
Well, that was our cool
round robin improv.
I was just gonna say that it's like the episodes where Brian and Stewie are locked in a safe and they make Brian eat Stewie's shit for some reason. There was no cutaways in that one, Damien.
You're right.
They raw dogged it.
This is our Emmy-winning award Family Guy episode.
That's right. Isn't that what that episode was going for?
They were trying to win an Emmy.
Yeah.
Do you think Family Guy deserves an Emmy, Parm?
They had another episode that was all about them trying to win an Emmy. Also,
There was another one where it was like Stewie had a therapist.
I haven't watched like the past 3 seasons or so I don't really know what they're up to.
I don't remember the last time I watched. I remember back in like middle school, I watched it because I thought it was funny, and then like partway into high school, I just kept watching it just like to have seen everything. I wasn't strong enough. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
After a certain point, I was like, this isn't worth it. It's never funny.
There's so much else to watch.
I'll throw it on for background noise if I'm absolutely desperate, but
You're desperate.
like if I can't find a single thing like worth listening to, because either I listen to it 1,000 times or I'm just not bothered.
I started listening to Metallica, like for background noise. Like there's a couple of their songs that I like, but I was like, I'm just drawn to this, listen to that one. So.
I realized that I have a weird thing now where it's hard for me to listen to music while I animate now. For some reason, I can only listen to music while I'm writing, as opposed to like drawing and stuff, and it's weird. Like
that's weird. I feel the opposite way. If I need to focus on something, like turn everything off. Like, but if it's something like you're not even, like you only use like half your brain for like drawing or something.
I think it's a mixture between whenever I animate or do anything that now, I will do it on my computer, and therefore I'll just put on like a podcast or something. So I'm used to listening to people talk. And then also, I also listen to music like whenever I'm working too. So like, for some reason in my brain, it's like, oh well, you need to be standing up and like lifting boxes and stuff if you wanna be listening to music, boy.
I used to do that too. Yeah, whenever I would listen to podcasts for like most things, like drawing, like playing video games. Then when I worked, I was like doing dishes or actually at work, I was listening to music. I don't know why.
I don't know. The thing about habits and stuff like that is that I think, like, whenever you're trying to make a good habit or trying to kick a bad habit, you, like, focus on it. But sometimes you just develop them without even knowing.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you just kind of realize, like, oh, shit, I've been doing that the whole time.
I've been smoking crack for 3 months straight. Holy
I
shit.
just started smoking it ironically. I don't know.
Yeah. It was a goof.
I saw this new TikTok trend, and it's like, you smoke this thing called crack, and then, oh, wait.
What?
Apparently, it's like the one drug that just like you'll never not miss it forever. So
I mean,
I
that's
don't know. Maybe
good.
meth would be more of a like one and go.
Dude, we need to make a video of us making meth so we can cosplay as Breaking Bad characters. It's not even funny. We're just actually committing a crime. I've been trying to think of new bits to play on people. I don't think I've talked about this in a video yet. But a bit that I started doing to just like everybody I walked up to. Parm, you've seen it probably once. I just go up to people and wait, I think I did talk about this.
You told me just now, but like earlier.
No, that was a different one. That's the one I just started. No, did I talk about the Beatles one? Where I say, it's like, did you hear that the Beatles are coming back? They're gonna bring back John and then maybe George.
And Paul.
They're gonna bring all of them back.
The real Paul.
And they're gonna have a reunion tour, and I'll just like go up to people and I'll tell them that, like I'll be like very sincere trying to convince them of it, and then like obviously they don't believe me because John's fucking dead, and I'll just be like, all right, just go talk about it to and I'll just say a random person's name and say like they know more about it than I do. They're a bigger Beatles fan.
They told me about it.
You should, but I just want to let you know, just like talk to them. Like I did it to Ivy once. I did it to Ivy, and then I immediately went to Maeve and told her to talk to Ivy about it.
That's funny.
You just put them against each other, and then they're screaming at each other about Beatles.
I want to say the Paul McCartney is dead theory is so funny because like. So the theory is like
brother doesn't wear shoes once and they think he's dead.
No,
there's a lot else behind it.
So it's like Paul McCartney's dead. The Paul McCartney that we have currently is like a stand-in, a faker.
Yeah.
What's funny about it is that they're saying that when he died was like early in like the Beatles' career. So like 90% of what the fake quote unquote like Paul McCartney would have done is like 1,000 times better than what the real Paul McCartney. It's like so it like
that's a good point.
It doesn't matter if he's dead, honestly, because whatever one we have now is clearly a better artist. You
Well,
know?
I don't think you could say that when he made a song like Christmas Time.
I don't.
We couldn't get a better Ringo. We just got a better Paul, though.
Yeah.
Well, because Ringo didn't fucking die in a car
He
accident.
should have.
Why do you hate Ringo so much?
I
I just
don't.
remembered that
I just expect more.
I just remembered. I don't think I've ever.
Expect better.
I don't think I've
I
ever
do.
shown you
a
this
fucking
farm.
3 drum set. Like, come on. He was like, well, I don't want to overpower the music with drums. It's like, fuck you, Ringo. It's rock and roll. Give us some drums, bitch. Come at me, Ringo. Find me.
The banner image we have now is just us traced over the cartoon Beatles.
Oh yeah, really funny. Where did we change that? Like a week ago.
Like a week or two ago.
That's right.
Like you suggested it a while back, and then I like just remembered to do it, and I just did it.
It's really funny looking.
And it works. It surprisingly worked really well. I don't know how. Here, you could throw it up on the thing, and I'll show Parm right now too, so he's not left out of the loop. It's this one right here, at the top.
Okay. What's happening?
That's
What is
just
it?
that's just the cartoon Beatles with us traced over them.
I like it. I enjoy it.
I've been seeing
Makes me uncomfortable.
I think every artist should do is like watch very old cartoons from like not like Rubber Hose, not 90s.
not
you-
Bugs Bunny, not Mickey Mouse doesn't count.
You need to watch like TV cartoons from like the 50s to like the 70s. And you'll either get gems or you'll get stuff like the Beatles cartoon where they're like super weirdly made.
You're supposed to be on drugs to enjoy that. So,
It's good. Probably,
yeah.
probably would be pretty soon.
Well, I just
The
do
Yellow Submarine movie on acid, like watching it is
that movie's badass. It's my favorite movie.
overwhelming.
That is my favorite movie.
Well, if you're melting face, it makes a lot more sense.
Can we talk about our little story about that experience? Because like we watched it at your dad's house with Caden. He was like he was a big Beatles fan back in the day.
Uh-huh.
He was a big Beatle head, and then
Beetlehead?
yeah,
The
self-proclaimed
Beetlejuices.
self-proclaimed Beatlehead Caden Peterson has never seen the Yellow Submarine. And we're like, hey, let's show it to him. And we like put it on. It was so overwhelming for him. He just couldn't comprehend it.
It was like 4 a.m. and we had been like drinking Pepsi and like eating bullshit like for the last like 5 hours.
Not to mention before that you were playing Mario 64 trying to do the backwards long jump.
Oh yeah, and
and
then
he threw up.
He threw up. Like Mario 64.
He got motion sickness for Mario 64.
He was like, I'm gonna throw up, and he
He did. He ate 6 pizza rolls and threw them all up.
That's a fun existence. I like it.
What a miserable creature.
Torturing
He's like the
your
little
friends.
berserk creature. But yeah, I think he enjoyed it overall, but he was just not having it at that moment. I want to watch it again though. I haven't seen it in like a year.
I've been on the fucking lookout for it. Like anytime, like I go to like a DVD store or like that place in the mall with all the cool stuff.
My favorite thing is that I got the vinyl soundtrack for it, and I had the Lego set of it, and you do too, and it's at your dorm.
I also have both of those things you just mentioned.
Where
Yes,
do
Silas, you're not
You're
special.
not so special.
Yeah, get off your high horse.
I just think they're cool. I have the Caden gave me the John Lennon vinyl that has Imagine, and it also has
Christmas one is on.
I think it's just called War.
Yeah, it's like wars.
But it also has I didn't know about this, and I don't know why I didn't point it out at the time, but there's like a song with the N-word on it,
What?
like in the
Wait,
title.
which word?
The
I'm not
N-word?
gonna say it.
Well, which one?
I'm not gonna do that.
Which
There's a
N-word?
lot of what? Never.
Nice.
But you know the very evil one, the one that got
Nothing.
the one that the one that got
There's no
Kramer.
way. Is the song title literally just that?
It's like
I don't. From the
the
I don't believe
Beatles.
you.
the N-word woman of the world or something.
Was
like
it
that.
Yoko?
Yeah, it was their collaborative album. They both worked
Of
on that
course.
And they called it the N-word.
Nevertheless.
I don't believe you.
album.
Is
There's
that-
also that famous John Lennon clip where he just like says the N-word blatantly, and it's really he's just like, I don't see the problem with it.
That's slightly more believable, but I don't think he put the N-word in the title of one of his songs.
He did. It's on the album that I own, motherfucker.
It sounds like a lie that you would make up. You'd be like,
This is a very. I've stopped doing these lies because you fucking stop believing them.
yeah, it's so weird. If you listen to this song backwards, you can actually hear.
Boom! Shut up.
Wait, what does that say?
John Lennon.
I can't read it. That's too far.
Under glasses.
Silas, read it out for
Yes,
me.
it is.
I'm not gonna read
Silas,
it.
it's for
You can't see
educational
it.
purposes.
You're not gonna trick.
I can't read
You're
or
not gonna,
swim.
You're not gonna.
I always drown.
You're not gonna fool me.
You're not gonna Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote trick me into saying the N-word. You're not gonna run through a tunnel.
I'll try. It's funnier at work.
You're not gonna make me do it at work.
I will, Silas. Dude, you left your computer on the other day, and I was like, I'm gonna put in his 2 week, and not tell you for a week and a half.
I think I was there that day. What?
There was somebody started a rumor about somebody because somebody wanted to. They were like, "Oh, I fucking want to quit," and then there went a rumor around that he put in his 2 week, to the point where management heard the rumor and filed his 2 week for him. And like 3 days before he heard about it, he was like, "Wait, what? No, like I just don't want to work here." They worked for like another 4 months, but they almost did.
I'm very interested in who that is, but we could talk about that later because that is a really funny. That is a really funny.
I love the power of like bullshit.
I realize the best version of it is just like making people believe stuff that is obviously not going to ever be true, but it's like making them believe it is like it's so cathartic.
Well, when I tell you to be like, Silas, get back to work, you have to be doing something. I keep saying that because I know management's an earshot, so like deep in their head they'll constantly be hearing and thinking like, wow, Silas is a piece of shit. He's never, even Parm is noticing he doesn't do anything. So you know what? No.
If I somehow get fired for not working, I think that would be really funny.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay.
It's weird when somebody gets fired from retail because like you won't see them again most likely, and they're just lost to like
They're like
other
deleted. They're like,
times of tide or tides of time in retail. See them at Target or some shit.
it's also like, isn't it also just really difficult to get fired from retail in general too? Like you could do it
if it's franchised, not as much, but if it's corporate, yes, it's a lot harder.
like obviously if you do stuff like fucking like stealing money and stuff, that you're gonna get fired. But
I got fired for having a seizure at work.
That's
So like
right.
corporate could fuck you, and they just file it in weird ways.
They can do it. Dude, I'm so tired of like that's another thing. I keep seeing like little stories of like corporations fucking over people. I saw you guys remember the Pepsi Jet scandal?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of it, Parm? You remember the Pepsi Jet thing where
When
like
people were just scanning UPCs.
it was just like the one guy who like he got a billionaire to like finance him to buy a bunch of Pepsi bottle caps, and he like submitted them to Pepsi because it was like you can either have $1 million or the Pepsi Jet, and they didn't think anybody would do it. He did it obviously because he convinced a billionaire somehow, and then he goes up to them with like all these bottle caps. He's like, "All right, I want the Jet," and then they're like, "Well, we can't give you the Jet because the Jet was like millions of dollars."
Mm-hmm. It was like the gag prize. I don't know what do you want.
And then it was like the Simpsons episode.
As I was about to say, when Bart wins the radio thing and he asks for an elephant instead of a bunch of money.
Yeah, and then it was just like that. And, there was like I think in the end he did get money out of it. I don't think he actually wanted the Jet. At that point he realized, oh, I'm not gonna get the Jet, but legal shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
I can get lots of money from this.
Probably not enough to cover all the Pepsi. Did
Nah,
they drink it all? Did they like donate the Pepsi
I don't
to be drunk?
I don't remember if they even did anything with it. I know.
They just drain it.
I think the billionaire or millionaire who financed it didn't care about the money back. They just wanted to see what would happen. Which is that's the right thing to do with your money.
I do that.
Buy all the baby food in town.
I heard about
Make sure the babies can't eat. Fuck them babies.
If you want baby food, you gotta come through me.
No, I just toss it out. No baby eats around me.
I just passed my first $1 billion. I'm gonna triple the rent on all the single mothers on my property.
Yeah, absolutely.
Buy every house in town and just like up it like slightly.
Double world hunger. And for my third wish, I heard about this other one. Did you hear about how Pepsi became really hated in the Philippines?
No.
There was this thing where Pepsi did they had a little thing because they were trying to get one over on Coke, and I think this was after. You remember Crystal Pepsi?
Yeah.
How that fucking failed?
Yeah.
Well, they were like, all right, what if we just literally give money out? So they have a thing where, like, if you look under the bottle cap, there'll be, like, a little thing, and it will tell you, like, oh, you win $1, you win $10. Sometimes there'll be, like, ones that, where people will win up to $1 million. And, you know, they did it in America. It worked really well. And then they did it in the Philippines. They were trying to, you know, expand their market. They go to the Philippines, and they were like, this is going so well, let's extend it and give it to more people. And they accidentally printed the $1 million, like, code multiple times.
Nice.
So there was, like, dozens and dozens of people who got this code. So everybody started rioting against Pepsi. And then you know what Pepsi did? They hired terrorists to go to the riots and start, like, killing people and, like, blowing stuff up.
No, there's no way.
And then, I'm trying to remember how, like, I think in the end they did give people money. I remember a specific one was, like, somebody threw a bomb and it killed, like, a woman and, like, a student.
This is another thing that's so hard to believe. I don't believe you.
This happened, you
Dude,
motherfucker.
Pepsi hired terrorists to go and stop protests.
Yeah,
I think
Silas, when you tell people shit like
I think
this,
terrorist is a strong word, but they literally hired...
Terrorist is a strong word.
I think that they
it's
literally...
really easy to get a terrorism charge.
It really is.
Yeah, my friend got one at like 16.
What did he do?
He did you guys play Works Bombs out here?
Works.
What?
Yeah, I forgot how exactly you make it, but you like put tin foil in something and you like wrap it up and you put chemicals on it. Well, they blow the fuck up. And some of my friends were like playing in a park and exploding them. And then like they got picked up by their friend to go hang out, and then that friend was like, actually, you guys got to get out. I have to go home to see my parents. So thus friend left some of those work bombs in their car
Uh-oh.
to go. I think it might have been accidental. I don't know, but they blew up in their car, and like police were involved, and apparently terrorism charge. But you know, everything gets expunged when you're 18 if you do it right. So.
Oh, well, I wish I
not
knew
a
that before.
Yeah, dude, you guys fucked up. If you did not break the law all the time as a teenager, you really missed out. It's great.
Well, to be fair, the only laws that I remember that we could break before the age of 18 is doing drugs and, like, literally killing people. So,
We didn't have no cars. We couldn't do nothing fun with that.
yeah.
We could have had cars. I didn't.
Aiden had a car. We could have used his car and killed people.
But, yeah.
We could have, like, flattened a family of 4 and then not talk about it until our adulthoods onto this podcast.
You're
Or that
you're-
homeless person in Indiana in 2011 whose face I see every time I close my eye.
You see, now I don't believe you because last time you said 2012.
You're paying attention, are you?
I paid attention to that one.
Your Honor, in my defense, I was only this many. Holds up fingers to show how
I had
old
a
I
kid
am.
in my class who did that, and you don't believe me.
No, that's believable.
You
I
didn't
learned
believe
my
me
months
last
in order at 19. I didn't know that my whole life.
You'd what?
I didn't know my months in order. Like,
Oh, yeah, he told me this.
yeah, dude, I'll be honest, I'm not fucking scared anymore.
I still need to like think of. I still need to go through all. Like, if you ask me like what month comes after July, I'd have to be like January, February, March, April, May. You know. I can't-
working retail, I
I
had
can't
to
just-
learn.
I can't just get it all.
I was just going to prove it real fast. It's called the Pepsi number fever, or the 349 incident.
Yeah, he created this page, by the way.
Oh my god. I did not...
He typed it up.
I typed up the fucking...
He's WikiLeaks.
Oh my god, this is such a long article. I remember... I hear that in a lot of areas, because people literally died from this, the Philippines in general just hates Pepsi. Which I think that's a funny thing.
Pepsi gets a bad rap.
And then they made Pepsi Man and it was all okay.
And then that was that the thing that caused the murder to kill people? Or that was Domino's, I'm sorry.
What?
Yeah, you remember... Are you talking about how, like, when Domino's, like, they had
The Noid was telling people.
Yeah, the Noid.
Oh,
genocide?
there was that one, and he took over, like, he held a Domino's hostage with, like, a gun. I was thinking of the one, just the little factoid where the 30 minutes or, 30, if it's over 30 minutes, it's free rule they had at pizza places until it killed people. because drivers would be speeding because they would get in trouble for not getting there in time. That's what happened. Aiden likes to talk about it all the time. I'll be singing in his car. I'll be enjoying his cool little samba songs he puts on, and then he'll turn them down and say "Hey Silas, the reason why it's not 30 minutes or less anymore is because in 1999 a guy got into 4 head-on collision and killed a family of 3, and now." As
he's saying this, he's slowly speeding the car up and locks the doors so you can't open it up.
I'm breathing really heavily.
What happened? What happened next?
He does this at least once, every single time we hang out. He does it at least once if I'm in his car. I'm getting sick and tired of it, Aiden. And also that I remember I submitted that little funny little review to Papa John's and not in Aiden's name, but on his behalf.
He never gave us the.
He was like, "They're reading it."
Did we record that when we were doing that?
No, we were. This was at your birthday.
Okay, so basically, we were like Aiden, if we left a review, who would see it or when would that kind of thing. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you would go to this and then do this," and then Silas does so. You want to just read it out?
I'll read it out because I don't even I don't say his last name because I realize that might get me in trouble. Mm-hmm. Pulling it up. I don't want to edit it. I just want to look at it. I just want to shake your hand.
I just want to see. Let me shake his hand. Let me shake his hand.
Why are fucking videos on airplanes the most ethereal thing of all time?
People lose their minds.
Because there's the one. Okay, there's a lot of them. There's the airlines one where they drag the bloodied Asian man off it.
Yeah.
There's that one, the shake your hand one. There's the guy wearing the Burger King crown who screams the N-word, and there's the one where the lady says that there's lizards that shapeshift.
They're not real.
That motherfucker is not real.
I've had those days.
The thing is that they're not even in the air, so you can't say, "Oh, it's the altitude messing with the." They're in they're on the floor.
Yeah, they haven't even left yet. They everyone gets on the plane, and it's
We need to get on an airplane.
We need to record on an airplane,
man. And see what.
That's so mean.
All right.
Yeah, we'll have a little headpiece in, and we'll be cupping it like this, so nobody else can hear.
Well, I think it'd be fun if we all sat in a mall with mics, but sat away from each other with newspapers and covered the mics with the newspapers. We all pretend to not know each other.
Like an oversized
jacket.
1980s cartoon dad newspaper.
We could have 2 little people in one.
We flip the page. It goes whoosh.
Nobody will know the fucking difference.
We've got our coffee mug next to us.
Instead of licking their fingers to flip the page, they lick their whole hand and flip the whole page. All right, I found the interview or the review. Why do I keep saying interview? I rated their food 4 because I think it's pretty good. Their service is always great because my buddy Aiden works there. Atmosphere is 1 because I've never been in there. Aiden T is the coolest Papa John's worker. Even better than... I'm not going to say that. Even better than Clarence from the hit show Clarence. Aiden drives a Ford Taurus. Do you drive a Ford Taurus? Think so. Aiden can bench 40 pounds. My Aiden can beat up your Aiden. Aiden delivered a pizza to me and he showed up on the stallion that is his Ford Taurus. They call him Mr. Chin. They call Aiden T Mr. Chin, and don't you forget it.
Don't you forget it.
And then I listed they asked how much money did you spend for this review, and I put $100 plus. And he said that they read it, and I don't know the consensus.
Oh yeah, in the group chat, he's like, they read the review, and then we were like, what did they say? And he never responded.
What if he died? What if he got fired and he just didn't tell us? It's like when Walt quits the laundromat, he's getting into drugs.
It's the video we posted of Aiden outside, where it's it's
the overhead music.
What the fuck is it? How does it go? It's I must give the impression that I know the answer to that.
I just know the da 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 da, something like that.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I was just singing Leonard Cohen. Anyways, same melodies a little bit. Yeah, I kind of want to touch on Pokemon because we had an interesting discussion on that, Parm.
Yeah. Well, I also had a debate to bring up and see what your opinions are.
Bring up your debate.
So what's your opinion on the Anna M. Mangin? People are starting that she was not the inventor of the fork spatula.
What?
All
Say
right,
that
yeah.
one more time.
Oh wait, hold on. Which one are you on? Let's both double team this guy.
All right. Look up this wonderful lady who people are trying to take her fucking fame away.
They're trying to steal her
Mangin?
fucking her
yeah,
fucking
she invented
invention.
a pastry fork in 1891. All right? And people are trying to take that credit away from her, saying that's been around forever and she doesn't deserve this, but
And
she was
dead.
a really hardworking person.
She's dead. Why do people care?
Well, I care.
Because it's
She-
Black
but I mean,
History Month, Damien.
No, I'm saying people who.
It's Black History Month, Damien. That's disrespectful.
No, I mean.
She was black and Jewish and female in like the late 1800s.
That
and
is like
tough.
she was.
yeah, that's not okay.
She
Like, that's
she
rough.
picked like the fucking like hardest difficulty she could, and she made. And you know what? Good for her, because you know what she did, Damien.
What?
You know what she did?
She invented.
She also went into education,
She made the pastry fork, Damien.
Okay, no, okay. People
but she
are-
also did a lot more than that, guys.
I'm saying, why do other people care?
About-
that? Why are people trying to say that she didn't do this? Is what I'm. Is my question.
Because
'Cause
she's black,
people-
Jewish, and from the 1800s.
Yeah.
And they think they can walk all over her.
Well, she also ended up like going to college all on her own.
You know how hard that is, Damien?
She was a principal of a
Like, you've never been to college on your own before.
Have you
No.
been a principal at a college?
No.
Then why does she not deserve this award?
And then she died in a hospital in Danbury, Connecticut.
Yeah, dude, Connecticut.
So,
On
And people
Sunday,
wanna defame
March
this
1st,
lady.
1931. I wasn't even born then.
I think she deserves our respect.
I think so too. Can we name this podcast in remembrance of Anna Mangin?
I would appreciate that.
I would appreciate that.
Thank you. I don't know. So I saw this like the reason I got really mad and into this was I saw an argument about this online, and then I was like,
Why do now I'm on Damien's side. Why were they having an
so I got really into this. So I started researching the history of her. Like I was like, I'm gonna combat these motherfuckers with like all the goodies that this lady provided. And then I went back to comment, and the page refreshed, and I could never find that comment again. So I've been like really upset about this, and I needed a platform to express.
You know what? That's fair.
Like, so whoever was like fucking talking shit on Anna on that fucking thread, fuck you.
Kill yourself.
Yeah, KYS, right?
KYS THX BB. I was gonna say, Damien? I told you about this, but I remember having the dumbest argument on this this fucking Instagram thread on Instagram threads of somebody's like saying who would win in a fight, Darth Vader versus versus Superman. I remember I don't even remember what I said, and then they just started like having beef with me. It's like, this is not serious. You can do anything you want. I see you have a wife and kids. Talk to the man. Why are you? Why
Were
are
you guys
here?
gonna talk about Pokemon? What the fuck is this?
Yeah. Well, we keep getting sidetracked, Damien. It's a podcast. It's
We're
fine.
gonna talk about Pokemon. It's like Anna Mangin. It's like, what? Are you
It's Anna Mangin.
Anna Mangin.
Anyways, me and Parm had this like little discussion on like Pokemon like a week ago, I think. And I don't know, I just wanted to refresh like, how do you feel about the games, Damien? You're not a big fan, but you see it from the outside.
So okay,
Like I do.
Back when I was a little baby, I was like, I watched the Pokemon show. I watched fucking like a million seasons of it. Probably as much as there was out at the time. I didn't play much of the games. The only games that I liked were the ones we play as the Pokemon. So that was like
Ranger.
Yeah, Poke Park, Mystery Dungeon, that kind of stuff. And then I played the card game a lot, but I never played any of the mainline games, or like the good ones.
You're too cool and unique, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my thing was I still kind of have this. Is like when I play RPGs, I think it's lame if like you're not getting stronger, like Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy. Like your personal character gets stronger, but like Pokemon or so there's stuff like that. It's like this little like thing.
It's like,
you
how
fight
am
with
I-
on-
how am
thought-
I
I
suppo-
for some reason I thought it was lame for some reason.
How am I supposed to project my male power fantasy on a rock with arms?
Exactly.
I mean, like I never played them because I'm just not interested in that kind of gameplay. I like RPGs, but I don't know why. I don't like menu RPG stuff, where you just like sit in a menu and you do all that. It's just like doing like paperwork. But
I don't agree, but go on.
well, there's some games that do like interesting stuff with it. So why can't they all do it?
My bad.
To be fair, there's a lot. There even the ones with menus. Sometimes they're captivating if you're into it. I just never into Pokemon for some reason. I only play Pocket Mortys.
Same.
But Parm, you come from a great lineage. You and your ancestors played Pokemon.
Oh yeah, no, I remember. Well, I was born in '94, so growing up was like Pokemon was booming, and like I feel like later in the years when the games you guys kind of grew up with came out,
Yeah.
most people who were in it were like really into it, but it was such a like vast thing when I was growing up. People who weren't even really enjoying it loved it, so it was just like Pokemon mania.
I mean, like there was a lot of cool stuff I like just from the outside. I liked the music, some of the visuals were pretty cool. I like all the little characters. It's a cool thing. Even the show is kind of like endearing. But the issue I have is like I was talking about this concept to Parm where sometimes I think about the concept of like making sequels to stuff, and I feel like every sequel, no matter what, should be like an innovation on the last one. And I like Pokemon, of course, like over the years, sure they did that. Like they went from like the Game Boy to like consoles and all that, and consoles got better, and better. But then like these last like what, I'm gonna exaggerate, 10 years, like they haven't updated the style as much, like the visual style, so it kind of looks the same.
So, from what I can tell from the outside, there was like a golden era on like the Game Boy Advance where like they all looked like amazing, like as good as like pixel graphics could be. It was like very nice, very cool. You go onto like the 3DS, and now it's like okay, the DS, 3DS, it's like it's 3D now. All the character models are 3D.
They're either gonna look bad at first because it's like a tiny.
So you're on like
they're tiny models.
You're on like a little system, and now you're going to like the Wii U, Nintendo Switch, where you don't really have as much hardware limitations now, and the games look horrible. Like the map is like not interesting. It's like just all like flat and lame.
Flat green.
The Pokemon just kind of wander around, like they don't like do stuff. I don't know. I guess from an outside perspective, I have no interest in like playing any of these like new games because they don't look like that fun, like from a visual standpoint and from like a gameplay standpoint. Because like you said, you innovate when you have like a series this long. Innovate for like a little bit, but then it just kind of becomes stagnant. So
like a good example was that I brought up was New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Like okay, they had back in the day, each like 2D Mario game, each new one was like awesome. Mm-hmm. Like you went from Mario Bros to Mario Brothers 2, to Mario Bros 3 to Mario World and all that. It's like it was cool.
Everyone like tops the last one.
But then they went into New Super Mario Bros. For like the I think it was the DS.
Yes.
And then they started adding it. They added New Super Mario Bros. Wii, which is probably the best version of that series. Mm-hmm. And then like each time it's just the same game with like 3 more blocks, and then it's just like I don't know, it's just not as fun anymore because it's just the same thing. Like you could turn your mind off and play it if that's what you like doing with games, but it's not hard. And then what they did was like they were realizing like, nobody really likes these anymore. We're gonna stylize it, and they made Mario Bros. Wonder, and that game is badass. And I'm sad you haven't played it yet.
They changed up the formula because you had like New Super Mario Bros, Mario Wii.
It was almost 20 years of that too.
New Super Mario Bros.
Not
2,
20, like
and then
15.
And then New Super Mario Bros. U.
It was New Super, and then they made New
Mario Bros. U Deluxe. These fucking games. No, that's probably why they revamped. They rebooted it
because they didn't even make it like a Switch exclusive until they made this.
Like these names are getting too long.
New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe and Sonic and Knuckles and the Legend of whatever.
Featuring Dante from Devil May Cry series. But yeah, they were stagnating for a little bit. All the games were kind of similar, and they shook it up. That's what you should do. Pokemon, from what I can tell, has not done that.
Yeah, they just keep cash cowing it sometimes, but they do release enough that if you're nerding into it, it is enough to like pique your interest. But it seems like they lost like the just blind fan following.
Yeah, because you have like one bad game here and there. The fans will be like, okay, all right, well, we'll play it anyway. But and then like 3 like not great games in a row, and people are gonna start being like, okay, what the fuck? and that seems to be what's happened. Like, there's a lot of animosity. Is that the right word? I don't know. There's a lot of like Pokemon fans, it seems, that are like not happy with the new games. They're like, oh, we have the same stuff. It doesn't even look good, that kind of thing. And I think I know what you're leading into. You want to talk about that other game, right?
I was gonna talk about that game in a minute. I just wanted to bring up a few little more points on it. It was just like, God, I'm not even high and I'm losing my mind too. But I think in general, like, another thing that I was talking about is like, okay, so whenever you need to buy a game nowadays, if it's a Nintendo game, it's $60 to $70.
Mm-hmm. Full price.
Full price. And I was talking about it, and it was like, if I want to play the new Pokemon game, they always release two. They always release two at a time. So when I go into the store, like, obviously it's like there's two of them, that's their gimmick, but like, I don't have $120 or whatever to shell out. So like, how do I tell which one's good? Like,
it's all the same. It's
exactly.
not too much to overthink. There's different. No.
Exactly. So why play it at all?
That's what I was saying. I was talking about that with Aiden the other day. I was like, I think it's just kind of scummy that you have like they release two games full price, and the only difference is that like there's like different legendaries and trainers, so they're like fundamentally the same game. It's like, you want to get all the Pokemon, you gotta buy both.
Well, now it's a lot easier. It used to be that you had to have a friend with a Game Boy, and you had to get lucky to get one of those Game Boy Advance, like, trading cords that always fucking broke. And then you had to, like, spend time. It was always glitchy, and it never traded right. But now there's random trade and just e-trade online, so you can just get all of the ones that are only able to get in the other game, like, really easily. I do have to give them props on that, because you can get what you want.
I didn't even know you could do that. That makes it even dumber. But I was gonna.
It's tradition.
I thought the whole time what they did was they made two games and they put it into one game that you buy. I thought that's what they were doing the whole time. But I guess they weren't.
No, it's like basically the same game with like a couple different things.
Yeah.
I'm sure back in the day maybe they had like a lot of different. They may
not
have like
really.
differences.
Well, it's all the same. It's just different. There's specific Pokemon you can only get in either one. Different legendary, like you were saying. A few different fighters. Like I noticed, I think the Elite Four was in a different order in one of the old games, but there wasn't that much. It was just a bitch back then because you couldn't easily trade.
Man, I feel bad for you Pokemon fans.
It's tough out there.
You know what? I may give them a lot of shit, but Pokemon fans, they're stronger than I'll ever be. But I was gonna talk about this because this is a very interesting thing that came up recently. Like, did this game come out this year or late last year? Whatever. Power World came out, and it's like what they did was first of all they just used AI basically to copy the models off of a bunch of Pokemon characters and just recolor them. That's not even that's just what happened.
They're fucking up the wrong tree. They're gonna pull a Soldier Boy. Y'all remember that?
Yes, I love that so much.
That makes me so happy that
Soulja
he was
Boy
like,
console?
"Fuck Nintendo."
Yeah, because
That's right.
he stole a bunch of Nintendo
Soldier
games.
console or whatever. Soldier Boy.
I want to get my hands on one of those and put frame it.
I think the thing is like we were saying, they haven't innovated. Nintendo Game Freak hasn't innovated on Pokemon for the last however many years. All the games like look bad. So another company comes along and makes basically the same idea but like different. They innovate on it, and
they make it like you can use guns. You can beat up Pokemon now yourself.
yeah, and that's cool. That shit's cool.
It's a cool idea, but it's like
Waiting
execution's
for
not
trouble.
Execution's not good, man.
I think it's. I've thought about getting it.
It's I bet it would be an interesting experience playing it. I just don't. I don't know. It's really weird. It's like I like the ideas of things of being like public domain, where like you don't have to worry about copyright law if you want to make stuff that's cool. But at the same time, it's like maybe don't like completely steal like all the Nintendo Pokemon models.
That's kind of shitty. But I don't know. I think I'm on Power World's side with this one because it's like, like Game Freak shouldn't fucking just dominate the market on like this type of game, especially if they're releasing like subpar experiences every time. I feel like there's like plenty of, like someone else like should come along and try the same idea. I think that's only fair.
How do you feel? Do you think there's going to be a video game crash?
Well, Microsoft is pulling out. They're not even going to make consoles anymore. Well, that's the rumor.
Yeah, the rumors that they're going to stop making consoles. They're going to become like Sega, where they make like games.
I don't know. I don't see Nintendo stopping anytime soon.
Well, they're making.
They survived the first crash. They'll survive the second.
Well, I mean, like the crash in particular, like from what I was getting at with all this, like looking at it, there's a lot of games that are coming out now, and it's basically make or break at this point. There's no such thing as like a mid, like a middle of the road. Like, oh, they made decent profit.
I feel like games are like doing like really well recently. Like in general, like the past 10 years, like there was a lot of the like game of the year like runners would be like your annual Call of Duty, your annual Assassin's Creed, and then like one of like the big companies that makes good games would make something like FromSoft or Bethesda, something like that would make one good game. And that was it for like the past like 10 years. Like annual releases, just like copy and paste, change a few things. Nintendo would make something that'd be all right. But I feel like last year especially we saw like a fuck ton of good games. Like game of the year was like insane. You had Baldur's Gate, Starfield, New Mortal Kombat. It was like a bunch of like amazing stuff. I feel like gaming is doing like really good right now.
Last year I'll give them that. But I'm talking more like just like the average like gamer, like not like game studios. A lot of them are kind of getting fucked right now. A good example is like Activision. Like they made Activision Blizzard. They made Overwatch. And like there was, first of all, they had those like the sexual assault like investigations that was not good, and then all of their games are starting to suck. And I'm starting to notice that there's like a thing now where like game studios are either going to become like super good, or they make one bad game and they have to close because they fucked up so bad.
Because you can't have like annual releases anymore. The standards are too high, so now you have to spend time making a game, and then if you fuck up, then it's like, well, that's the last like 5 years down the drain.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely a lot more pressure, and I can see what you're saying with that.
I just think there's that and a lot of layout. I think in general, I think we're gonna get a lot of good games, especially on like the lower budget ends.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that we're gonna have a lot of shutdowns. Like a lot of games are gonna stop being made in general.
I don't know. It'll just go into like, well, what will people do? What will we just like play with our old games forever? I don't know. I feel like AI games will be pretty dope. They know what we want.
Well, I mean, like, what's gonna?
Except they don't know how to do hands.
I don't think.
I don't know why.
I don't think that we're gonna stop making games. I don't think that's what the crash means. I think it's gonna be like
only Nintendo. Well, it might be independence. A lot of people are just making shit games. I don't think Steam will go anywhere.
Well,
I think as long as the creative people like.
Well, that's what I'm doing. So.
Well, the crash was.
They made
Atari, Sega.
They made all those really like shitty games, and all you got was like fucking weird like blocks moving around, and then like you paid like $100 for it.
And they're fighting over bits.
Well, the crash was about like these games that are like not that good. They're like okay, you have fun with them, you have fun playing Space Invaders or whatever. But like they weren't like interesting enough to keep your attention, and then like too many bad games in a row, companies just like didn't want to like do games anymore. Like people didn't want to like manufacture them, so it was about like companies not being on board, and then like consumers like not being interested. So it just kind of died out in that sense. But I feel like games have in the modern age have like proven that it can be like a source of entertainment that can be successful. It just takes more time. So I don't see a crash happening in the same way that it did before. There's possibly something different that might happen.
How about this? I think a better rephrasal is just like, do you think there's going to be like a sort of corporate game crash? Like all the bigger corporations that have been making games, they're going to kind of stop doing it. Like they're going to slow down way too much because we're not going to get. If Microsoft does the thing where they like pull out of making consoles, I have a feeling it's going to go like the Sega route where like they're gonna make a lot of like just kind of not good games for a bit.
Well,
Because,
they bought a lot of companies,
and
so
they don't do anything.
They
So,
haven't done anything with that. I think games take time, but I mean,
well,
I don't know.
there's stuff like Rare, you know, like Banjo Kazooie, and
That's
like
true. They bought Rare and made like one game.
they made Banjo Kazooie nuts and bolts,
Yeah.
and then do they own Crash Bandicoot? I
No,
don't.
that's not Rare. That's something else. That's a
Well, not
Sony.
Rare, but like, is that under
No,
Xbox?
that's Sony.
Sony, all right.
Yes.
But there's a lot of things that they own. They own Halo, and a lot of people are saying that Halo is not doing well, but I don't know how true that is.
From what I can tell, people loved Halo 1, 2, and 3. 4 was alright.
Didn't they hate 5?
5 and 6 or 5 was bad, whatever. So they had like a couple really bad ones in a row, and then from what I heard, Halo Infinite was like pretty good. Like, not bad.
So I gotta clock out a little early tonight comparatively to last time.
You got stuff to do. You gotta follow your rainbow, dude.
Yes, my rainbow dude.
It's
Yes.
a Sonic reference.
Oh.
You wanna understand. You know, Amy, she has 3 arcs of hair.
And she wields a giant hammer and chases Sonic around.
Blaze.
I have Sonic Heroes for 3 different consoles.
It's badass. I didn't know it was on that many.
Yeah, sadly.
Wait, I have Sonic.
And I have like all the Sega
Sonic
games.
Heroes.
I still have my Atari. I just can't play it on any TV I have.
Parm, tell the funniest joke. Pretend you're on stand up.
Pretend you're on Saturday.
We're gonna put
Night
on
Live.
the Seinfeld that he when he's
I
on
don't
stand-up.
I don't do one-liners. It's weird.
I get you, man, but you're in front of a brick wall with a spotlight at you. You got to say something, and you can't do a Michael Richards. You can't do a Michael Richards. All right. Please have the music keep going until he makes a joke.
I'm not gonna make anything for you. I am not your whore monkey, and you are not my pimp, Silas.
All right, add a laugh track to that, and that's the joke.
Thank you for watching Salad Bar.
Thank
We'll
you,
see
guys.
next
Bye-bye,
week
bye-bye.
if we don't miss 2 weeks in a row again.
Thank you guys for having me. It's been wonderful.
Yay.
Bye.
I appreciate the back rub, Silas. I love you.